What's going on? You're watching NFL Daily by Chat Sports. If you're looking for the latest news and rumors around the NFL, you're in the right place. If you're looking for a creepy guy with a porn mustache, heck, maybe you're in the right places also. But first, let's dive into today's show around Dak Prescott. Of course, right? NFL news, rumors, we got to talk about Dak. So I saw today Damien Woody. Damien Woody on ESPN today said that the Cowboys do not believe that Dak Prescott is their franchise quarterback. Now, Tom and I have talked about this multiple times on our live shows. Remember, we go live every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, so if you want to join our shows, that's the time to do it. Now, Stephen Jones did have an interesting quote, and Damien really hit on this. He said, the Dak Prescott, negotiation, it's the elephant in the room. So what did Damien Woody do? Well, if it's the elephant in the room, and if you haven't committed to him yet, and he's played pretty well for you, I guess that means that you don't think that he's the franchise quarterback. Now, I don't really know if that's true, but I do think that there is a little bit of truth that the Cowboys have been at least a little bit worried about committing to Dak long term. Because if he is your franchise guy, I think you would have paid him, especially after 2018, where I actually thought he's played pretty well. He won the NFC East 2 out of his first 3 years, and if you're looking for a young quarterback who has kind of stepped in and filled in the shoes very nicely for Tony Romo, I mean, Dak has done that. If you look at the stats, he had great numbers last year. 30 touchdowns, almost 5,000 yards. But when you're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, when you've been drafted in the 4th round, you have expectations. And for anybody that sits here and says, well, Mitch, they missed the playoffs last year, how can you pay a quarterback? My argument would be, well, he's also won 2 out of the first 4 years when nobody even gave him a chance. But let's get back to this quote, okay, by Stephen Jones on Dak's contract. Dak, obviously, is the elephant in the room. Everyone knows it. We just got to keep grinding. Now, I understand that's the elephant in the room, but it's also the elephant in the room not just around the Cowboys, around the entire NFL. And we're sitting here waiting every single day until the deal gets done. And until it gets done, we're going to talk about it. So if they are afraid to commit to him, I understand that, because what I wanted to do is think about what I want to pay Dak, and do I consider him a top quarterback? Because if you're going to pay him top 5 money, shouldn't he at least be a top 10 quarterback? So for me, I'm going to break down my top 10 QBs right now. I got Patrick Mahomes at 1. I had Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson. I think that they're interchangeable. Then I have Deshaun Watson, Drew Brees. Again, I think you could swap either of those. But then now let's dive into 6 through 10, where I have Aaron Rodgers, not just because I have the same mustache, but because I still think Aaron Rodgers is there. If I am going into next year, I understand that Tom Brady has dropped down a little bit, but I am still looking for a quarterback where I'm confident in the playoffs. I'm still taking Tom Brady at number 7. Then it's Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford. If Matthew Stafford is fully healthy, he was on pace last year for 39 touchdowns and almost 5,000 yards. Now, a lot of you are going to be like, Mitch, why isn't Dak in your top 10? He's number 11. He was right there. If I'm just looking for pure upside, I am still going to go with Matthew Stafford over Dak Prescott. So I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video, okay? So what I want you to do while the ad is playing, I want you to watch me rub this creepy mustache. And I also want you to scroll on down. And I want you to let me know in the comments section, is Dak Prescott a franchise quarterback? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Let's now go to Russell Wilson. And maybe you've already seen this by now, but basically, Mike Florio went on to say that, there was some rumors and reports that there was a potential trade involving Russell Wilson going to the Cleveland Browns back in 2018 for the number 1 overall pick. Florio didn't stop there, okay? He also then goes on to say, don't be surprised if there's a Russell Wilson trade. Cool, Florio. I get it. You're trying to get clicks. You got me. And then you got a lot of other people. But if a guy has a no trade clause, and if his contract isn't tradable, I think that kind of makes him difficult to trade, right? But obviously, Florio goes on to say that we've heard that the 3 teams that would be the most likely to trade for Russell Wilson or for him to go to, the Cowboys, the Raiders, and the Saints. I don't know about you. That just seems like easy picking by Mike Florio to go, okay, we're going to go with the biggest market team in the Dallas Cowboys. We'll pick the Las Vegas Raiders, who are always in quarterback negotiations. And then, oh yeah, you know what? We'll throw in the New Orleans Saints. Now, there's no doubt that Russell Wilson is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And there is no doubt that I would say just about every single NFL franchise would love to have Russell Wilson on their team. However, no trade clause. If the Seahawks end up trading Wilson, it costs them more money than just to keep him. So guess what? Between you and me, I think he's going to stay on the team. Now, I want you guys to subscribe to Chat Sports, okay? We're going to keep you up to date on the latest news, the latest rumors, and like I said before earlier, we do live shows as well. So if you want to talk with Tom and I, if you want to talk with everyone here, get in the comment section. So subscribe to Chat Sports, hit that big red button and turn on the notifications, or else. All right, let's go into the next thing here on today's show. And when I first started, this was just Geno Smith maybe to the Seahawks. No, now it's official. Geno Smith has signed a one-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks, and the details are still TBD. Once we get them for you, I might give them to you. I don't really know. It's Geno Smith. Is it really that big of a story? But I do think that this move makes a lot of sense for the Seahawks, right? He was the backup quarterback last year. All they really had going into before today was a UDFA, also an Anthony Gordon, who I actually do like a lot. But when you look at what Geno Smith can bring to the football team, I think it is just simple. Depth, and that's really all he's going to be. He is going to be a body, a lesser, much lesser version of a Russell Wilson. So God forbid, if something were to happen to Wilson, I mean, I think the Seahawks would go from being a playoff team to probably one of the worst teams in the NFL. But again, you just add Geno Smith for a little bit of depth. So I think it was a good move. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I hope that Russell Wilson stays healthy because I like watching good football. And no offense to Geno Smith, and no offense to Anthony Gordon. I don't really think that's going to happen. But it does impact a player named Cam Newton. But I'm going to tell you about that after first I hit you with this deal. So if you need an NFL face mask, go to chatsports.com/staysafe. It'll be in the description. It'll be in the comments below. But you can get 3 masks for the price of $24.99. Now listen, I want to watch football games. I want to tailgate. And if I got to wear a mask to the grocery store, to go get gas, heck, to even come to work, I'm going to do my part. And y'all should too. But let me just say this. These things are flying off the shelves, and I'm just going to warn you, if you don't take advantage of this deal right now, on this video, today, at this second, you have a chance to not be able to get one of these at all because they are going that fast. So go to chatsports.com/staysafe, get 3 of them for $24.99, and if you want to go to tailgates, if you want to go to games, I get it. I don't really want to wear one either, but if it's the only way I can get football back in my life, if it's the only way I can cover up this hideous mustache, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to chatsports.com/staysafe. Okay, let's get into a rumor now around Cam Newton. So Tom and I, we talked about this a little bit yesterday on NFL Daily. Basically, ESPN suggested that the LA Rams and the Seattle Seahawks would be the 2 best teams, okay? The 2 best teams for Cam Newton. So I have a question first, though, okay? Let's play a game. Because I know Cam Newton says that he wants to be a starting quarterback. The only issue is there's not many teams out there that need a starter. So pretend you're playing Madden, let's jump into the Xbox, PS4, Nintendo 64, whatever the kids are playing now, and let me know, what is Newton's player skill rating? So 0 being he's like the worst player in the game, or give me a 100 for he's basically the GOAT. So if the top 2 teams for Newton, according to ESPN, are the Rams and the Seahawks, well, if the Seahawks just signed Geno Smith today, that tells me this, that they're not going to go out and get a quarterback like Cam Newton. What does that mean? So maybe Cam Newton, the best fit for him now, is with the LA Rams. Now, they have a horrible logo, maybe worse jerseys, but if you are trying to sell tickets, if you are trying to put butts in seats in your brand new stadium, maybe Cam Newton's a halfway decent way to do it, right? I mean, there's not many names, not many players that have the name value of a Cam Newton at backup quarterback. Plus, y'all might think I'm crazy. A fully healthy Cam Newton, I actually think could compete with Jared Goff. Now, 2018 was a great year for the Rams. It was a great year for Jared Goff. Led him to the Super Bowl. Now, he laid an absolute stinker in the Super Bowl. Probably one of the worst games I've ever seen in my entire life. Put up only 3 points against the Patriots. But last year had some serious regression. So, right now, this is what you're looking at for a depth chart for the Rams. It ain't pretty. That's a fact. And if you're a Rams fan and you're like, how dare you? You can yell at me on Instagram. You can see it below. It's at Mitchell Renz 365. I'm going to be waiting for you. Now, Jared Goff, I think, is solid. But let's be real. I like Bryce Perkins out of Virginia. Wolford, who the heck is Wolford? Cam Newton would be the new quarterback, too. But again, if Cam Newton thinks that he can be a starter, I think it's intriguing. And I know a lot of y'all are going to defend Jared Goff. That's fine. However, I'm not. And I want you to have a legitimate conversation with me. That's what Chat Sports is all about. So I want you to go in the comments and let me know. A fully healthy Cam Newton, type CN. Or Jared Goff, type JG. And if you're curious about what I have to think, hit me up. You guys know where to do that. Okay, this rumor, this one's going to be fun. Chad Johnson to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to dive into this rumor a little bit first, but after this YouTube ad break. Okay, Chad Johnson to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, I said it, but this one is from 12 Up. Now, 12 Up, not the most reliable source, but I thought it was fun, and I wanted to have a conversation about it. So they wrote an article about the 3 players that could come out of retirement, or basically the 3 players most likely to come out of retirement to play football with Tom Brady again. At number 1 on that list, Chad Johnson. Not to play wide receiver. No, not to play wide receiver, but to play kicker. Kicker. Now, hey, I get it. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are fun. Ticket prices are up. You got Rob Gronkowski, who used to be a WWE star, so why not and try to go out a failed XFL kicker? Yes, Chad Johnson tried to kick it in the XFL. It didn't work. So what makes us think that a 42-year-old man could come and just start kicking for the Bucs? Well, Matt Gay, not great. Fry, also not that good either. I think that they're going to compete for the place kicker role for Tampa Bay. But the one thing, let's just get this straight. Just because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went out and got Tom Brady and went out and got Rob Gronkowski, that doesn't mean that they're just trying to be a circus show. No, this football team and Bruce Arians is actually going to try to win football games. Bottom line. But I do think, okay, that the idea of Chad Johnson coming back to the NFL, it's fun. And I miss football, and I think that's what this show is going to be about. Let's get football back. Let's have some fun. So hopefully you like the Chad Johnson rumor, and make sure that you do your part. Go to chatsports.com/staysafe. Get your favorite face covering. I'm sure Chad Johnson would wear one. And if you haven't already, hit that sub button or else.